Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time coming across my channel, you are welcome. So in today's video, I'm going to be making this nice beautiful red dress, which was inspired by a Shein black dress that I saw. And yeah, so if you end up enjoying this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe, and you can go ahead to share and also leave a comment in the comment section. So I'm going to be drawing my pattern first on this brown paper, and here is my starting line. So I'm going to start there to mark out my measurements. Now I'm taking 9 inches from my starting line, and this 9 inches is for my underarm. So I'll just take the 9 inches and draw a straight line. The next line I'm taking is 11 inches, and this is for my bust. This is my bust point line. Yeah, my bust point line is 11 inches, so I'll also draw a straight line on there. Then the next measurement I'm going to be taking is 15 inches, which is my under bust. That is from my shoulder to my under bust, which is 15 inches. So I'm going ahead to draw it, and also I'm taking 17 inches from my shoulder to my waistline. So this here is my starting line. Here is my chest line. Here is my bust point, here is my under bust, and here is my waistline. The chest line is also the round arm. So on the starting line, I'm taking 4.5 inches for my neck width, and I am taking my shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus half an inch, that is 8 inches. So on that 8 inches line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and I'm going to draw a straight line to connect it to my neck width. So from here now, I'm also going to take the 8 inches that I marked earlier for my shoulder. I'm just taking it down to my chest line because I want to draw a straight line for my armhole. So I'll just draw a straight line to connect the dots. Now I'm going to come down here by 4 inches. And I'm just taking the 4 inches down to draw a straight line. So here I have 4 inches. Then on the other side, I'm going to mark 5.5 inches down, and this is to have that kind of like a sweetheart effect on the dress. So I'm marking 5.5 inches here, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw something like a sweetheart neckline. So I'm just going to draw a curve like so from the 4 inch down to the 5.5 inches. So on my chest line here, I'm going to go ahead to take my measurements. So for my chest line, I'm going to divide my round bust measurement by 4, and I'm going to mark it there. On my bust point, I'm also going to take my round bust measurement divided by 4, and I'm also going to take that down. On my under bust, I'm going to take my round under bust measurement divided by 4 as well. And on my waistline, I'm also going to take my round waist divided by 4. Now if you don't know how to take these measurements, I have a video here on YouTube, so I'm going to leave the video down in the description box so you can go ahead and check it out so you know how to take your body measurements. Now it's time to insert my armhole. So I'm going to measure what I have from here now to my chest line. and I have 8 inches, divided by 2 is 4 inches. So I'm going to go in by half an inch. And this is only for drawing your front armhole. So I'm going to take my curve ruler, but you can totally do this with free hand. So I'm going to take my curve ruler and connect from that half inch that I marked inward to the top and to where I have my my round bust measurement on my chest line, if you understand what I mean. So I'm just gonna have this line here. So now I'll just go ahead and connect all the points. Now I'm gonna go ahead also to add half inch at the bottom. So I'm just adding half inch for joining the top part to my skirts part. So this is the half inch that I'm going to use to join it. And on my shoulder, I'm also adding half inch for joining both the front and the back shoulders. So I'll just go ahead and draw a straight line to connect them all. Now to mark my dart, I'm going to measure from my chest line to my waistline, and what I have there, I'm going to divide it by 2. So I have 8 inches there, so divided by 2 is 4 inches. So I'll just mark the 4 inches here. Now here I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 inches, divided by 2 is 4 inches. So I've taken my 4 inches on my bust point line, and then I'll go ahead and connect the lines. That is the 4 inches that I have to the 4 inches for my dart, for my nipple to nipple measurement. Now for my bust point line, I'm going to take 1 inch down. I measure 1 inch down here. And then on the 2 sides, this side, I'm going to take half inch on both sides. And then I will draw a line to connect it to this 1 inch that we came down by from the bust point line. So we don't want to draw this line directly on the bust points because we don't want the bust point to bulge or something like that. It's not going to look nice, so that is why we had to come down by 1 inch. So on this side here, I'll come down by 1 inch because by the time we sew in the 1 inch by this side, that side is going to shorten. So I'll come down by 1 inch to replace the half inch I took on both sides, which is equal to 1 inch. But on drawing this line, I would advise that you draw the line to meet the center front of this front piece, not on the 4 inches of my nipple to nipple measurement, but the center, but my center front. Now I will go ahead and add half inch on the side. So here I will, but before I add the half inch, I'm going to come in and mark 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter and not 1 inch. Centimeter is the other side of the inch. And after marking the 1 centimeter, I'll just connect it to the down part. And then I'm going to connect from there to my bust point line. And then that after we have done that, I'll now go ahead to add half inch for joining, half inch allowance. And please note and see how I am adding this half inch on the dart line. and then I'll go ahead and cut. So this hair now is for my front, is my front piece pattern. So I'm going to mark here center front. Now this is for the back side, and I've gone ahead to take all the measurements that I took for the front. Then I added this zipper allowance of 1 inch. So now on this part, I'm going to go down by 1 inch and mark my back shoulder depth. And then I'll connect it to the shoulder width. And then for my armhole, I'll also go ahead just like I did for the front and find the midpoint, and the midpoint is 4 inches. But this time around, I'm not going by half inch. I'll just connect the midpoint to my measurements, to my chest line measurements. Now on my waistline, I will to make sure I don't have any bulges on my zipper side, I'll go in by half an inch. So I just marked half an inch here. And then I'll just draw a line to the top part of the top to create a new zipper allowance. And now I'll just go ahead to add my half inch allowance on the shoulder, the sides, and the bottom part. And then after I was done adding it, I cut it off, and this is what we have for the back pattern. Now for the skirt part, I have my zipper allowance of 1 inch. This is my starting line, and from my starting line I measured 9 inches for my hip line. And then to get the length of my skirt, I took out the 17 inches. That is from my shoulder to my waistline, so I took it off. So I'm placing the 17 inches on my starting line, and then I went ahead to mark my desired skirt length. So here I marked 45 inches for my skirt length, but I shortened it later to about 42 or so. And don't forget to add 2 inches for hemming the bottom part. So on my starting line here, I'm taking my round waist measurement divided by 4, and what I got, I added extra half inch for allowance, for joining allowance. On my hip line here, I divided my round hip measurement divided by 4, and then I added another half inch. So what I have here now is 11 inches. So I'll come down here, and I'll also take 11 inches. And then to make this skirt to be tapered, like to bring out the curve of a pencil skirt, I'm going to go in and take 1.5 inch. So I will minus 1.5 inch from the hip line to get the bottom part. So now I'm going to go ahead to join from my waistline to my hip line. You can totally use you must not use a ruler or any instrument. You can just draw these lines using your free hand. So I connected the waistline to my hip line, and now from my hip line down to the length of my skirt or the length of my gown. So this is it. This part doesn't need the dart because the fabric is stretchy, so the dart is not necessary here. So I'll go ahead and add ½ inch at the top here for joining the top part to this to the skirt part, and on the bottom part I went ahead to add ½ inch, but you should add 1 inch or 2 inches on the bottom part, because like I told you, I later went ahead to shorten it. So I did this part offline because I thought my phone was recording, but it wasn't recording. So I adjusted the zip side just like I did for the top zip side as well. So I just came in by ½ inch, and then I just connected it to the hip line like this. And then on the length, on the actual length of my skirt, I also marked ½ inch on there, and then I just extended the line down. Now that that is done, I will go ahead and cut. So this is it for the back pattern for my skirts. So I'll go ahead and cut out, place my fabric and cut it out. So these are the two fabrics I'm going to be using. This is going to be for my sleeve, and this red one is going to be for the main bodies. Now I've cut out the front, folded by 2. So I'm going to fold the center front. There where I'm at, center front is going to be folded. So I folded it and cut it out, and this is what my center front is looking like. Sorry, this is what the front top part is looking like, and this is for the back top part. This can be cut into 2 because we're going to be inserting a zipper allowance, inserting a zip on the center back. So this is my back piece. Now for the back piece, I'm going to cut for the back piece first. So I've gone ahead to cut it. I placed my fabric on it and cut it, and this is going to also be split into 2 because I'm going to insert a zip. So I'll take it off, and then I'll cut off the zipper allowance, and after cutting off the zipper allowance, I'm going to use it and cut out my front piece of the skirt. And while cutting the front zip of the skirt, the center front, which is where I just cut off the zipper allowance from, is going to be on fold. So I've gone ahead to sew in my dart for the front part. Now I'm going to place it on the skirt part, and I'm going to join it by ½ inch. I'm going to join it right side, touching right side, and then I'll also do the same for one side of the back piece, right side touching right side, and then I'll also join it by ½ inch, and I'll do the same for the other side. Now I've joined the front piece, both the up and the skirt part. So I want to cut out a neckline that I can use to, bias the neckline of of my dress. So I went ahead and cut it. So I cut it like so, and now I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to place this my bias that I just cut. I'm going to place it right side touching the right side of my main garment. Then I'll go ahead and just sew it in. I didn't have enough fabric. If not, the bias would have been extended further. Then for the back piece, for the back neckline, I just cut out this bias because, like I said, I was short on fabric. And after doing that, this is what the neckline is looking like. And I also went ahead to join the bodies. I'll join the shoulders, hem the bottom parts, inserted the zipper, and yeah. And also, if you don't know how to shape your garment, I also have a video on how to do that, so I'll also leave the link in the description box. So this hair now is for my sleeve. So I folded my sleeve into two because I want to cut for the front, for the two sides of my sleeve. So as you can see, the top is folded and this side is folded as well as this other side, but then this part is not folded at all. So I just want to show you where you place your tape, where you're going to mark from. So from the top, I'm just taking 4 inches. I'm marking 4 inches all the way, and then I'll connect the lines with my ruler. And on that 4 inches line, I'm going to mark 13.5 inches. This is how big I want my sleeve to be, 13.5 inches. And then I'm going to, from this part that you can see now, I'm going to draw like an inverted S to meet the 13.5 inches that I marked. So what I'll do with the excess is that I'm going to just pleat it, and so that the sleeve is fuller, like you saw from in the beginning of the video. Now from the top here, now my sleeve length is 24 inches. So I'll go ahead and add 24 inches, but then I'll add 1.5 inches for allowance, for hemming allowance and for joining allowance. So I added 1.5 inches, making it 26.5 inches, or rather 27 inches. I think I just added 27 inches, and then I just drew a line to connect them all. And because I have 13.2, I have 13 and a half inches here, I also come down here and mark 13 and a half inches, so that I can draw a straight line from the top to the sleeve length. So I'll just draw a straight line on here. And after that, I'll just go ahead and cut, and this is it for the sleeve. Now I'll just go ahead to notch the midpoint of the sleeve. Now it's time to work on the sleeves. So I'm going to take this sleeve and I'm going to hem the bottom part. So I'm going to fold in by 1/2 inch and fold in again by another 1/2 inch and sew it along. And after sewing it, I'm going to insert my elastic on it and then join it by 1/2 inch or less than 1/2 inch. So I've gone ahead to hem the bottom part, so I'm going to insert my elastic. So you know how tight you want the elastic to be, you cut out the size, and then I'm going to use my safety pin and insert my elastic into the hem of the sleeve. So once the other end has gone in, I just pinned it down with a pin, and then I'll continue inserting my elastic till it comes out to the other end, and I will go to my sewing machine and hold it. I'll sew on it so it stays put, and then I will go ahead and join it. So this is the other sleeve that I have done all of that to. I inserted my elastic and also joined it. So now this is how I'm going to join it to my main bodice. The parts where I joined on the sleeve, I'm also going to place it on the part where the front and the back piece of my dress is joined as well. So I will take the part that is notched on my sleeve and also place it on the shoulder. That's where the front and the back shoulder meets, right side facing right side, and then I'll go ahead and join the sleeve, and then when I have excess, I'll just split the excess and still continue sewing. You can skip the part where I joined the notched part of my sleeve to the shoulder part of my dress and just join it like that and then pleat the excess, so it's not complicated. Now this is the final result of my dress, and yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, please subscribe to this channel, and also you can share. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.